Okay, number 1, Dominique. I was literally oblivious to it and never even thought that the reason I was getting sick was because I was pregnant. One day while I was at work making protein shakes for people, I took a deep breath and felt sick to my stomach, which was odd considering I love the smell of the protein powder we use. Cut off there for a second. Okay. But I ran to the back, and when I came back to the front, the customer, who was a regular and always stayed to talk with me while I got her order, asked me if I was pregnant. I said, "Not that I'm aware of." She just looked at me with this look and said, "Oh girl, you are glowing in a way that only pregnant women can glow." She gave me a hug and walked out of the store. I just kind of laughed about it until the next morning when I got Chick-fil-A and got nauseous at even the smell of it. The Chick-fil-A minis are my favorite thing in the world. I waited until the next morning before taking a test. I thought I peed on it too much because it came back positive within a minute. And it said that it usually takes about 5 minutes or so for it to come back. So I just went on with my life like I wasn't pregnant, until my boyfriend asked if we should take another test just to be sure. I ended up peeing in a bowl, all the cups were dirty, and used that method. Came back positive. As it turned out, I was about 2 months pregnant. Oh my gosh, had to give up Chick-fil-A and protein shakes. Oh no. Sounds like you were a little in denial. You're like, well, I probably just peed on it too much. That's probably why it came back positive. That's hilarious. Okay. Number 2, Andrea. Oh, I'll share the story of when I found out I was pregnant with my daughter. So I'd been extremely lethargic for about a week and everything was making me nauseous. I knew something was up when I was eating my favorite ice cream from Cold Stone, the German chocolate, and I had the urge to throw up. Oh no! Not ice cream. I was hoping I was wrong because my first was only 1 and we weren't planning to have more until my son was at least 3 and potty trained. Well, my symptoms continued. My appetite became non-existent and everything made me sick to my stomach. I decided to bite the bullet and get a pregnancy test. I went to the Dollar Tree and bought a cheap test. I went home and peed on the stick. Those 2 lines lit up immediately like Christmas lights, and I stared at the results in shock. I immediately called my husband crying because I was not ready for 2 under 2. My son was already running me ragged. I eventually got over it and embraced my pregnancy, but initially I was having a conversation with God, like, why would you do this to me? Why? Oh my gosh. Man, if Cold Stone is making you feel sick, that has got to be a sign for sure. I mean, obviously, unless you're like, have the flu or something. But man, well, sometimes things just happen and you didn't necessarily plan for it, but I'm sure you feel really grateful now to have 2 little ones. Number 3, Alexis. I was working. I work from home for a call center, and my grandma comes in and asks if I would like mango cut up with tahini, and I said, oh no, ew. That's my favorite fruit. Then she brings my mom's cucumbers with lemon and tahini, and I reacted the same. My mom was like, dude, are you pregnant? And I responded, no, that's impossible. But it wasn't impossible. It doesn't say that. I just, added that for my own context. Okay. I went to break shortly after, ran to the bathroom and took a cheap dollar store pregnancy test. Hey, those dollar store pregnancy tests. Apparently that's where it's at. Okay. I had in the bottom of my cabinet and straight away it was 2 lines. I panicked and showed my mom and she ran to Walgreens to get 2 clear blue tests just to make sure. Peed on the sticks again. And again, 2 lines. Wasn't impossible. Okay, number 4, Grace S. I took a test as a joke at work, fainted in the bathroom, and then I woke up in the hospital. So fun. What? I need more to this story. Okay, so first of all, I'm just going to ask, I don't know if you're going to listen and respond, but I would love a response and maybe we can share it later. But 1, why would you take one as a joke? Were you feeling symptoms, or did someone dare you, or were other people doing it? Like, I have so many questions about that. Then you fainted in the bathroom. Did you faint because it said positive, or were you already like feeling kind of like nauseous or weak? And then you woke up in the hospital. I hope everything's okay. And if you're taking it as a joke, were your coworkers like around you and they were like, oh my gosh, like, I just feel like we need so much more to this story. All right, so Grace, let us know. All right, number 5, Megan. I took a test and expected it to be negative because we were trying for 8 years and got used to being let down. Lo and behold, it was positive. I texted my husband who was at work and then went to my mom bawling my eyes out because I was so emotional. When my husband got home, we took another test just to make sure it wasn't a fluke, and that too was positive. It was a magical moment. Went to the doctor for confirmation and then went to the OB, who then said I'm high risk to miscarry, which crushed me because we just found out my husband had cancer. Oh my gosh. I cannot imagine finding out those 2 things around the same time. It was a very easy pregnancy up until delivery, but everything is great. He's absolutely perfect and healthy and 2.5 months old. And husband is cancer-free right now, but waiting because they found a new mass on his kidney. Man, well, I hope everything is okay with your husband. I'm glad he's cancer-free right now, and I hope it stays that way and they caught whatever they just found early enough. Wow, that's a lot to learn and to figure out in a really short amount of time. But I'm glad everything is going good right now. Okay, number 6, Daisy. I was taking shots with my husband and his uncles and realized, whoa, I'm 4 shots in and I feel nothing. Is that a thing? Like if you're pregnant and you're taking shots, you don't feel anything? Literally never heard that before, but okay. So I got kind of worried, stopped drinking, and then we later stopped at a liquor store before going home and took the test, and I was positive, even though it was so planned. So has 4 O's. So even though it was so planned, I didn't think it would happen so fast. We were laughing and crying at the same time. I need to look into this shot thing. I feel like, I mean, it's obviously not like encouraged when you're that early. I mean, I'm sure people have drank before knowing they were pregnant, but you really don't feel anything? I don't know. Something I gotta look up another time. Okay, number 7, Madison. This might be kind of long, but my husband and I have been together since 8th grade. At 21, we got married and have been trying for a baby ever since. Last year, I was 25, about to be 26. I found out I was pregnant and ended up miscarrying 2 months later. Oh, I'm sorry. It was really hard, and we had the conversation that I didn't want to try again because I just couldn't take the pain. A week after that conversation, I had a positive pregnancy test. The first thing I did was cry. I was so happy. I was scared. I was and wasn't ready for it. We didn't tell anyone except my mom and mother-in-law. We just stayed quiet and waited. At 12 weeks, I had my ultrasound and expected nothing to be there, but there she was. And now this Sunday, I'm being induced with my rainbow baby. It's been an amazing and emotional journey. Wow, that is a lot again to take in a small amount of time, because you're probably still getting over that miscarriage before seeing that you're pregnant with another baby. So I can only imagine the fear and anxiety, but also happiness that comes in that short amount of time. And I'm so happy for you. That's so exciting. And this Sunday, so I'm guessing it was like 2 Sundays ago now. So hopefully everything went well. Baby's here and healthy. Awesome. Okay, number 8, Anonymous. I took a test at 2 a.m. Thanksgiving morning because my anxiety was taunting me with the idea I might be pregnant. even though I had just missed my very irregular period. When I saw it was positive, my first thought was, oh no, I used a broken one. I love this thought that it's oh, it's not positive. I just peed too much on it. Oh, I used a broken one. They sell broken ones now. And I took another one. When that one was also positive, it finally clicked for me. In absolute shock, I went to the bathroom and silently motioned for my husband to follow me back to the back room so he could see it. We were both very happy, and it was hard to fall asleep after that, not to mention holding our tongues while visiting both our families for the holidays. We've been married 6 years and finally had our first child. Wow, that is a lot too. I mean, to find out right before the holiday and then being okay, can't tell anyone, but that's fun. That's a fun way to kind of find out. Well, 2 a.m. on Thanksgiving. Okay, number 9, Cheyenne. I went to the ER from feeling sick, and they told me I was pregnant. I found out at 6 weeks. My husband and I both cried for a few hours as we were both young, 20, and I didn't know what to think. But now, as I'm typing this, I'm holding our little girl and couldn't be more happy. Wow, you had to go to the... I'm so I want to know more to the story. What caused you to go to the ER? What were you feeling? What were you, your symptoms? Wow. But it's always good to hear a happy ending at the end. I love that. That was so fun. We're going to continue with this kind of theme next week with tell us how your child reacted when they found out they were going to have a sibling. And I love this one. I love watching these videos. So videos are great, and I wish I could share everyone's videos, but unfortunately we can't. But if you, describe it. I mean, these videos I love seeing these videos because it's all over the place. Some kids get really excited while others are don't give me a sibling. So it's just kind of funny. All right, guys, that's all the mom tales I have for this week. Thanks to everyone that submitted their responses. If you want to read more, we got tons on our Facebook group and social media. That's where we always post our questions. New questions are posted every single Friday. So stay tuned for this week's question, and I will see you next week. Bye, guys.